With the pandemic still in full swing a year and a half in, it has given us in the tech space a lot to think about, like the importance of supply chains, the viability of crypto, our reliance on microprocessors throughout a variety of different industries. But one that has affected me personally is the viability of remote work. Microsoft recently came out with a study of their own workforce regarding the matter, and the conclusions are interesting. Is it good? Is it bad? And is there contradicting evidence by other research? The answers to all these questions and more can be found here at Techonomics. Hey guys, it's Carlos, always trying to provide you with an insight on technology and how it's affecting you and the world at large. I've enjoyed working from home, and I know many people who have, but it's important to look at the data to see what the effects are and whether it's better or worse for you. Let's get some context to find out more. Microsoft just came out with a study that unfortunately was a major letdown for people like me who've really been enjoying working from home. It concluded that remote work has had a substantial negative effect on communication and collaboration throughout the company and is threatening employees' productivity and long-term innovation. The study says that without intervention, the effects we discovered have the potential to impact workers' ability to acquire and share new information across groups, and as a result, affects productivity and innovation. Regardless of what your position is on remote work, the reality is that this is some very important data. Understanding the effects from working from home is vital to making sound, educated business decisions going forward. And the reality is that communication and sharing ideas is key to innovation and building good products, especially at scale. Because when you think about it, it might not be that big of a deal in a team of 2 or 5, for example. But as you have more and more people working on the same project or product, there are going to be more moving parts. And in these situations, it is that much more important that everyone is on the same page, which is why the same study said, in light of these findings, companies will need to take proactive measures to try to help workers acquire and share information across groups so that productivity and innovation is not impacted. We have to remember that remote work is still relatively in its infancy, and because of this, there is still plenty of room for innovation that counteracts any of these negative consequences. And if you're like me, the thought probably came into your head of, yeah, remote work could still be improved, but why fix something that isn't broken? If you're having issues with employees working from home, why not bring them all back to the office? Well, Microsoft answered this question in their study as well. They said, because remote and hybrid work are likely to persist even after the pandemic has ended, it is incredibly important to understand how these policies affect the way people collaborate with one another. There are 2 pretty clear answers there. First, the pandemic isn't over, so as much as people want to go back to normal, many employers and employees alike feel that safety should be the first priority. As such, remote work is the best option for everyone, of course, assuming that that is even an option in your workplace. Second, even after the pandemic, there will still be plenty of people choosing to work from home. As such, it is important to understand the trade-off so that everyone can make the most of the situation and business doesn't suffer. But that brings the question of, why would people prefer working from home? Did Microsoft's study find anything on the matter, and is there any evidence from other studies that Microsoft's might have missed? So, interestingly enough, Microsoft did get input on employee sentiment regarding working from home, though it did come from an entirely separate study. This other study said that Microsoft employees felt better supported by their managers, more productive, and a much more beneficial work-life balance, which many see as a means by which to accomplish their goals both inside and outside of work. Which begs the question, what the hell is going on? This seems to be a pretty clear contradiction. That's because it is, and don't take my word for it. The reality is that Microsoft's study is not the only one in existence, and while they are a big name because they are the Microsoft, it seems like they are actually an outlier. Many more studies seem to show that working from home, for the most part, has little to no effect on productivity. If anything, it shows productivity in many industries have increased because of working from home. Here's a perfect graph showing the productivity when working from home in 2020. Now compare that to this, which shows both 2019 and 2020 productivity, which is obviously mostly from home. There is a clear increase, and juxtapose that with the idea that people seem to have a better work-life balance. And isn't that a win-win? You have more productivity and happier employees. So now that we see that there is evidence that goes against what Microsoft said, the question that needs to be asked is, what makes working from home so much better for so many people across industries? So I should clarify that Microsoft isn't wrong. The issue is that their study is ignoring the benefits of remote work and only focuses on the negatives. Yes, it is harder to communicate and collaborate when you're not together with your team, but that can be dealt with if you put your mind to it, and it will be much easier to solve when your employees are having a much happier experience because they're working from home. So why is working from home so great? Well, work-life balance is a simple answer, but that doesn't get to the nitty-gritty of it. You don't have to commute, which gives you more time at home, which allows for better relationships. This is even more important right now that people are stressed out because of the pandemic, and is especially beneficial for parents because they can have more quality time with their kids, making them happy and allowing those kids to have a better upbringing. Staying at home also reduces costs because you don't have to pay for transportation, food, or other costs that occur over time. And who wouldn't be happy with a little more money in their pocket at the end of the day? You do have to invest in your home office, but for many that's a plus because they've been wanting to get a new monitor, desk, or something else, and now they have a reason to do so. On top of that, many businesses even give you money for it, so it's a definite plus. To top it all off, remote work is better for the environment since it reduces the need for transportation and energy consumption for both the home and the workplace. This isn't to say that remote work is the end-all be-all and that every company needs to implement it as of yesterday. It's just clear that the picture that Microsoft painted of remote work wasn't the whole story. And while there are many industries in which the cost-benefit analysis for remote work doesn't make sense, it has significant upsides for both the business and employees. So more companies should consider it going forward and not be swayed by some clickbait headline about Microsoft's study without proper context. Hey guys, thanks for watching another video. Please hit that like button. It is always very much appreciated, and comment down below with your thoughts on remote work and whether or not you think it's going to keep growing going forward. Did I miss anything? Please let me know. As always, it's Carlos from Techonomics, over and out.